It's 10:10 today, and arguably one of the most important moments in Tesla's history. Their robotaxi launch event? Here are some clips and final comments before the event happens.
Big event this week, Tesla's robo-taxi. We Robot is the name.
Elon Musk has sold investors on this idea that Tesla vehicles will one day be self-driving. Now, those promises may finally be fulfilled when the company unveils its robo-taxi at its We Robot event in Los Angeles.
How big do you think this event is for this company?
It's a huge deal, Oliver, because if you look at what happened this spring, they really delivered pretty poor deliveries, down 9% year over year in Q1. Earnings were expected to be $6 a share for 24 a couple of years ago. This time last year, $4 a share. They're going to be about $2. So the core business is fundamentally deteriorating vis-a more competition. So they've got to deliver something, pull something out of the hat.
And you're fully expecting to get into a robotaxi and get driven around by no one tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd put the odds at that at above 90% that we'll get a chance to do that. And it's going to be obviously in a contained environment. And so keep in mind, back in 2018 at their Autonomy Day, they took a Model 3 and put it on Highway 101 in San Francisco. And so the idea of them being able to move around and autonomously in a controlled environment is nothing new. I think what I'm focused in on is, what's the form factor like? Is this a two-person? Is it a four-person vehicle? And then the all-important question around timing of the vehicle, because for them to talk about something is very different than the substance of actually seeing these products in the market.
But they've also had a lot of letdowns in the past, too, in terms of timing. I feel like for Tesla, it's like ultimately they get there, right? Think about how many people were naysaying the stock, 2015, 2016, 2017. Never thought it would be able to be profitable, never thought they'd get the scale.
Because he's talked about it a lot. He's promised it a lot.
21 times, in fact.
21 times, and the average promise in terms of time frame is 2 years.
2 years
from that moment that he talked about.
That moment, yep,
and that moment still has not come. And so tomorrow, do you think it's going to be 2 years again, which would be, that means nothing to me.
The regulatory and the technical difficulty with this is very problematic for Tesla, and that's what we're going to be looking at. What are they doing differently that can differentiate them and accelerate it from a 10-year time frame to 1, 2, 3 years? That's what the street's going to be looking for at this announcement.
I think that he's going to say something that's a little bit longer than under 2 years. I think he'll say that by the end of 25, that they're going to be rolling out some of these robo-taxis in some select cities. Now, that's an approach that Tesla historically hasn't taken. They've kind of had this idea of getting the cars in the market. But I think that they could take a similar approach to like Waymo. And also, I think another piece to the conversation around the timing. So again, late 2025, I think that they'll have some form of robotaxi service. Another aspect to this is I think they may actually talk about a couple other vehicles, a more affordable Tesla. And I'm an outlier on this next one, but I think a passenger van for autonomy, 6-10 people kind of a vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, the path to victory, Oliver, for Tesla is to switch on the few million existing Teslas, getting it to an Airbnb type, on wheels concept, where you and I have our Teslas in a driveway and we want to make some extra cash flow. Turn it on, switch it on.
That's a cool
That's
vision.
the way that they could win.
So what is the business model of the robotaxi? How much do you think it's worth? How's it going to work?
So if you think about the total profit of Tesla, I think that ultimately 20% of this could come from the ride-hailing network. There's a lot of factors that play into that. I think that's just in the U.S. if they can get around 50% share. So, of course, Uber dominates that today. But I think if you look at if they eventually have this as a service where they charge 20% less than a typical Uber ride because you get rid of the driver, and they take a 15% cut, I think it can add, it's basically pure margin. So I think that this can be a material lever is 20% addition. I don't think this is going to like triple Tesla's business, for example, but I think it's going to be a material piece to it.
Sure, and that's why this is a big deal. If they can do it, then that addressable market for robo-taxis is very large. But,
Do we know how big?
It's trillions. It's hard to say what it really is, but just to put it in perspective, it's difficult to get there. So probably there'll be a tipping point like major technologies. But to put it in perspective, Waymo is only doing 100,000 trips per week. That's great, but they've been at it for about a decade. Apollo Go in Wuhan, China, is just
That's
the
Baidu's.
profitability. That's Baidu. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get there. It's just going to take a little while. A lot of a lot of consumers are scared to.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want to do it. Yeah, reasonably so.
No matter how you feel about Tesla, Elon Musk, or robo-taxis, this is must-see TV, folks. I'm about to go watch iRobot just to prepare. Normally, I would live stream this event here on YouTube. I'm not sure if it'll be airing on YouTube, but I will be attending the Tesla Live watch party. If you're not familiar with Iman and Tesla Live, there'll be a link in the comment below. Go ahead and click that, become a subscriber, and we can all watch Tesla make history together. I look forward to chatting with some of you there. That's all I got for you right now. Be easy. Peace.